Hi, writers. Today is a very exciting day. We are starting our new unit in writing. We are moving into informational writing, or writing books that teach. Informational writing is real and true, and informational books teach us about different things or different topics. Maybe you've read an informational book about a game that you enjoy and you needed some information about it. Maybe you've read an informational book about an animal that you really like and you just wanted some more information. So, informational books are written to help teach us about different things. This is the kind of writing you're going to get to start soon. So, this is so exciting. Before we jump into informational writing, it is important that we immerse ourselves, which means to kind of surround ourselves with good examples of informational writing. We look to mentor texts. A mentor is like a teacher or an example. So we look to mentor texts and we immerse ourselves or surround ourselves with good informational writing to help us spark some of our own ideas when we go to do this writing later on. So, what we're going to do together today is I am going to look at a National Geographic informational book about bats. And I'm just going to point out some things that this writer does that is really great, and things that when you go off and do your writing, you can do the same things in your writing. So, let's take a look. This is the first page of our book called Bats. If you notice, there is a table of contents. A table of contents tells you what each section of the book is going to be about. This is something we usually always see in informational books. So let's take a look at the different chapters. The first chapter is called What's a Bat? Ooh, I like that this author included a question mark in that page. Then the next section will be about bat food. So I'm thinking that this chapter is going to teach me what bats like to eat. The next chapter is called Night Flight. I like how that sounds, night flight, but I'm thinking maybe I'm going to learn about how they fly at night, something like that. The next chapter is called Bat Bodies. So again, I'm thinking this is going to teach me about their body. But writers, what I want you to notice is in this book, it sounds like each different chapter or section is going to teach us something different about bats. So this whole book is about bats, but each chapter is teaching us something different about bats. And then if I skip to the bottom here, there's something called a glossary. So I'm just going to make a little post-it. A glossary is something else that we come across in nonfiction or informational books. And a glossary kind of defines important words for us. So if you come across a word and you're not sure, you might go to the glossary and it'll tell you what that word means. So a glossary is something we will come across in informational or nonfiction books as well. All right, let's check out our first page. Wow, there's so much to see on this page. The first thing I notice up here is this bold and bright heading. So I'm going to make a little post-it here that says bold heading with a question, okay? Because a heading tells us what this section is going to be all about. So I'm noticing up here, there is a bold heading. It doesn't just say bats, it says, what's a bat? And it asks a question, which I really like. The other thing I noticed before I even read anything is this picture that kind of looks like it is a bat. So it's helping me understand what this section is probably about. And it has a little caption here to label the picture. So I'm going to add another post-it that says picture with caption. Because again, I'm just reading this book to notice what this author did that's so great that when I go to do my own informational writing, I can do the same thing. So let's read this first section. What's a bat? I sleep by day, I fly by night. I have no feathers to aid my flight. Ooh, I liked that they used some rhyming words there. I'm just going to make a little note. Rhyming words. Maybe that's something I can try in my writing when I go to do this. The answer is a bat. A bat is a mammal. Mammals are animals that nurse their young, have hair, and are warm blooded. Humans, dogs, and whales are all mammals, but bats have a special ability. They can fly. Wow, that was so much information. And there's a couple things in this paragraph I noticed that I really liked. One thing I noticed is the author defined this word mammal for me. I didn't know what a mammal was, but the author says mammals are animals that nurse their young, have hair, and are warm blooded. So I'm going to write that they define important words for me, because if you're writing about something you're an expert on, you might have to define important words for your readers. I also noticed that they used commas with a list. So they gave me specific examples in a list of types of mammals. They said humans are an example, dogs, and whales. So I'm also going to write that I really liked there were specific examples in a list on this page. Because again, that might be something really great that I'm going to try to use when I do my writing. And then at the bottom, because it's important I read the whole page, it says bat words. Mammal, a warm blooded animal that drinks its mother's milk, has a backbone, and has hair. So this author told us the definition in her writing and included it again down at the bottom. So important word again at the bottom. I'm going to just put a note for that as well. I really, really like that. All right, let's check out the next page and see if there's other great things we notice that we can do in our own writing. Let's see. Okay, this page is called Bat Food. So again, I'm just gonna make a note. I like the bold heading. It's nice and big so I can see it. And I know what this page is going to teach me. It says, there are about 1,200 types of bats in the world. Wow, I'm going to make a note of that. That's a specific number that the author told us of how many bats there are in the world. This author could have said, there's many types of bats in the world, but instead they told us the specific number of bats in the world. That's really important. Let's keep going. Most of them eat insects. Insect-eating bats are usually small in size. Okay, I like that they told me the size. That feels important. Maybe when I do some writing, I'm going to include the specific size if it works, if I write about something that it makes sense for. Let's keep reading. There are more than 150 types of fruit bats. Oh my gosh, another specific number. I'm going to label this one also because again, I like that this author told me this specific number. Didn't just tell me like many, but told me exactly how many. These bats are usually larger and search for sweet fruits and other plants. So again, this author told me about the size. Let's come to this page. I noticed another picture. It looks like this bat is holding some fruit and a caption. So that's important. Picture with caption. And then, I don't know if you noticed this up here, but there is a joke up top. And it says, why don't bats live alone? And it says, they prefer to hang out with their friends. So I liked that they used a question, or sometimes there's jokes, to kind of engage the reader more and to enjoy this type of writing. So writers, I just want you to notice today, we looked at a mentor or an example of really good informational writing to immerse or surround ourselves in good examples. That way, when we go to do this type of writing, we know the kind of things that other authors do that we can try. So now, your job today is to look at this chart I have over here and choose one idea that maybe you'll want to write about, because informational writers choose ideas that they know a lot about, maybe that they feel like they're an expert in. So look at that chart and pick one idea and just list some possible things you might write about. You're just making a list in the back of your notebook So not in the front, you're going to flip to the back of your notebook where writers make lists. And you're just going to choose one idea and make 3 lists or 3 bullet points of what you might write about. For example, if you choose things I do as your topic, maybe you're going to choose 3 things that you do that maybe you'll write about. So maybe you ride your bike, and that could be something you teach about. Maybe you play Pokemon cards a lot, and that might be something else that you do that you might write about. Or maybe you play Minecraft a lot, and that's a game you feel like you're an expert you could teach about. Those are the 3 bullet points you would write, and that's all you need to do for today. Good luck, writers!